Hi everybody, welcome back to the training. Today's topic is basic ethics for community care of online servers. I'm Dr. Casey, Mighty Grace Apostle Gaming. Let's go. Today we're going to cover a lot of things from the definition all the way through how to make your decisions. First of all, ethical definitions is a moral principle that govern your behaviors, that conduct activities, the branch of knowledge that deal with moral principles to help you guide your decision making and make choices in your community servers in different situations. All of us, each of us have one or more ethics to follow. All of us are bound to follow community guidelines. Also, if you have professional jobs or career occupations in real life, you are also under those guidelines to help you know what do and not do. If you are a minister, priest, or pastor, or even worship leader, and you are also under the ethical guidelines of doing ministries, especially for children and women. For all of us, especially for Christians and who believe in God, that we follow God's law, God's standards, so that helps us to decide what is right and wrong in God's eyes. So think about this. Which one are you following and which one are you going to follow? Be on time and be a man of words are very basic principles in our life, especially if you want to be a leader and build the characters in your life, and those are very important. Global mindset is also essential as well, that we are all living in the world that coming together through internet, so it's much more than just ourselves. Being open-minded, however, we are guided from the heavenly wisdom that always do the right thing and discern the spirit what is right and wrong and where to turn. Know your ability, and that is also important. That which just means you know what you can do and cannot do. It does not mean you are weak, but however, just mean that you can better help others by knowing it. Do no harm and prioritize others' interests are always important, especially do no harm, because if we cannot do any good, at least we don't want to be the stubborn stone. That is a very core concept of ethical guideline across the world. Prioritize others' interests. Always ask how we can help others instead of what we can get out from situations. Do the right thing. It may not be always the most convenient thing to do, or it may not be the most popular thing to do. But being able to do the right thing is always the best policy. Obey the law. Sometimes people think internet does not have law. However, that is not true. Even though sometimes we do not see it, do not feel it, it does not deny the existence of the law online. Make sure you follow the law. Keep clear boundaries of yourself and others that will help you to have a clear mind and clear heart and clear mental health, and that will protect each other being healthy. Confidentiality is a big thing in real world that basically means you respect the privacy and keep the information safe that the other person telling you from others and sharing with others without consent. I know this is sometimes difficult online, but however, I recommend everybody to bear it in mind and protect privacy and keep confidentiality intact online, even though you're reporting or consulting with your leaders or colleagues. Suicidal, homicidal abuse and neglect are emergency in real life, and they demand a lot of attention in real life situations, and also are bound by the law to report to a local authority if it's ever needed. Online is sometimes is hard to do as the same as in real life. However, we should have the same mindset and always aim to do our best. Please consider this before we move on. Do you have a minor in your community? Do they have parents involved in your community? Do they know that their minor children are being with your community? Do you have crisis in your community, or there are any criminal acts involved that you have to report to authority? What is your roles? Are your roles under the law that bind by the law to do certain behaviors? Or what kind of difficulty and challenges that you encounter online? Those are the questions you have to think about constantly every day. Online challenges that we face a lot, and the most frequent, the consistent ones would be everybody in different time zones and different locations. It's rarely you encounter the same persons and located in the same area that you live. Real identity is the confusing part because everybody has online identity and some of them have even fake identity. Real identity is a rare thing to obtain, sometimes it's just really hard or impossible to get. Communication is also another set of issues. Face to face interaction is rare. Most of the times are text messages and occasionally voice chats. Information can be delayed because of software malfunctions or internet shortage, or always just as a human being, sometimes you send a message out, the reply may not come in a few days or even a few weeks, so that causes a lot of delay. Then those are the challenges for online. Now let's go back to in real life situations. If crisis emergency happen in real life, this is how we handle it. We gather all this information and report it. For example, the names and address and the contact information, what happened in the incident, and also the hotlines and referral sources and services number, emergency contact number, and who are you and why you're doing this. In real life, this is relatively easier to do, but however, in online situations, some of the information here you can see and cannot be obtained or impossible or difficult to obtain. So it increased the difficulties of dealing with the situation. However, despite of all that, I recommend you to seek wise consultations. If you do not know what to do, ask professional to do it. And also make wise choices um, that always do the right thing according to your role, your belief, and your law. And do the right thing again so that you will not leave any regret regardless of the outcome. Now we have two case studies here for you. One is Pastor C, is adult ministers of online community, that he's facing a minor community member reporting being abused. So what should this adult Pastor Z do? And one of the key points is that how involved is the family members, especially parents or caregiver. It is important for you to know and perceive the case when you're dealing with a minor. So always be able to obtain adults' consent will be a key. Also prepare a lot of resources that this minor will be able to use, like emergency numbers, local authority numbers, or even considering reporting to authority. So that would be a good choice. If John is adult, situation may not be as complicated as a minor, but however, we also proceed a similar procedures to follow. Now the second case study, I designed a leader as a Mr. D as a minor because I noticed a lot of community uh, servers nowadays have leaders as minors, and I think that is important to address how minors should deal with the situations like in this case, and a member having self-harm behaviors. And my position is that we always should protect the minors, shielding them from dealing with a tricky situation. So in this case, I'll recommend the minor leader would refer the case to adult leader to take care of it instead. Not because the minor is incapable, but because we need to protect our minors, even the online community. So if you are adult leaders, so make sure you protect your minor leaders and help them to deal with the situation. You can teach them, you can guide them, but try to not let them get into the tricky situations. All right. Last but not least, this is my final words for you for today. Is from the Bible, Philippians 4:8. Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is commendable, if there's any excellence, if there's anything worthy of praise, think about these things. A lot of times we have tricky situations and gray areas, and but we have the ultimate truth to follow. We have the standard to follow, which is God's law and God's words. So when you are confused, when you're in doubt, always look up to the Lord and consult His wisdom, and He will give it to you. And do the right thing as always, so you will not have any regrets. Alright, thank you very much for joining the training today. Hope you enjoy. See you next time. Bye bye.